This is my van.
And I call it the Caddy R because over the past few months, I've been building the performance version of the Caddy that Volkswagen never made.
Oh my God.
Now, our Caddy started off as a pretty boring 1.6 diesel work van. But since then, we've installed this 3.2 litre VR6 engine that you'll find in the Mark V Golf R32.
And on top of that, we fitted a load of different handling modifications like bigger brakes, new coilovers, and even an R32 style exhaust.
However, most recently, we carried out a full paint job, transforming our fairly boring and standard looking Caddy to my dream custom van build, painted in dark moss green with various upgrades like a new front bumper, rear bumper, door mirrors, and even new headlights and taillights.
But today is the finale. In this video, we are going to finish off this build by completely overhauling the interior with a load of different modifications. And by the end of the video, you'll see the Volkswagen Caddy R finished for good.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the first place we're going to start is the dashboard. And the reason why I want to upgrade this is because firstly, it is very scratchy plastic. It's not very high quality or luxurious. And also it has no glove box. Also everything's made out of black plastic and it just doesn't look amazing. So there is a very good upgrade you can do to these. Let me show you. So this is a dashboard out of a Volkswagen Touran, and believe it or not, this is a direct fit into the Caddy, and it's a very common upgrade that people do to these vans for several reasons. Firstly, it is made out of this like squishy material, which is just so much better quality than the hard, scratchy plastics that are in the Caddy. Also, we've got these nice sort of aluminium looking surrounds on the vents. The speakers look way nicer. There's also this like cubby hole, which isn't in the Caddy, which I can open up and show you. Look at that, that's very cool. And finally, this has a glove box, which we can install as well. So it's a really good upgrade, but first job is to get out the Caddy dash. You ready?
Yeah.
Have you ever removed the dash before?
On very old cars, yes.
I've never removed a dash in my life, so this is the first. We're gonna try to do it as quick as we can. Let's go.
So Ollie and I could get cracking with removing the Caddy's old dashboard. Now, between us, we've got pretty limited experience with removing dashboards, but our logic here was just to remove every single bolt we could find.
One center console piece out.
So I could get on with taking out the center console.
Center console out. Oh dear. All my money. All my profit.
Is that our wages for the month?
That is, yeah, that was what I was, that is it.
Meanwhile, Ollie was removing the instrument cluster.
There you go. Plugs are out.
We clocks.
Clocks.
And he could also work on taking out the stereo.
Radio's coming out.
And as he was doing that, I was on the hunt to try and find any little bolt that might be holding this dash in. Ollie could also take out the climate control dials, and I was still undoing just every bolt I could see. And I'm not sure if we had to do this, but we did also remove the vents. And then the steering wheel also had to come out.
There we go.
Nice. Steering wheel off.
And with that, there were a few more bolts to undo, but the dash could then be removed.
Look at that. Dashboard out. Finally. Okay, so the dashboard is now out. And there's something else I want to do now that the dashboard is out, because it'll be a lot easier. And that is to replace these rubber carpets on the floor. They're not very luxurious, and I would much rather have some nice proper carpets on the floor instead of these rubber mats.
And that is exactly what we've got. These carpets are just like the dashboard, and they are from the Volkswagen Touran, and they will just go straight into the Caddy as well. So to get these fitted, we can quickly remove the seat bases, and then the old rubber mats can be removed.
How has this even got in here? I mean, how has that accumulated? It's literally like someone's gravel driveway. Someone definitely lived on a gravel driveway.
So we could quickly hoover up all of the gravel that had somehow got underneath the rubber mat. And there was a little bit of surface rust here as well, so I tried to clean it up as best as I could with the wire wheel and a bit of paint. And then it was in with our lovely new Touran carpets.
Right.
So now the carpets are in, Ollie and I could work on installing our new dashboard. Now getting this fitted is pretty much the exact same process as taking out the Caddy dashboard, but just in reverse.
That's solid.
Once we'd got the main screws in, Ollie could refit the instrument cluster. I could also plug in and install the top vent trim piece, with the small little storage compartment that sits on top as well.
Oh, that is so satisfying. This is so much better than the van dash.
Who needs a Rolls Royce when you got this?
Honestly, I can't believe how easy this has been to fit.
Yeah.
Like, this has literally been like, there was like 10 bolts holding the dash in.
Yeah.
How does it open?
Now, because the Caddy doesn't have a glove box from standard, the sort of metal framework that sits behind the glove box is actually slightly different, so I had to get out the Dremel and do a few cuts into the metal framework to make this glove box fit.
Hey.
Once that was done, we could then file down the metal and get the glove box installed.
Oh yeah.
There were still a few more bits to get in, like the climate control dials, and also this trim on the driver's side which has the headlight controls on it. There were some final trim pieces around the steering wheel and also around the sides of the dashboard that needed to be installed, but once that was done, the Touran dashboard was now fully fitted.
Okay, so that is our Touran dashboard and our Touran carpets in, and that has made the interior look 10,000 times better. I'm so pleased with it. But now we're done with that, you might also notice, actually, before I go on to that, we haven't fit our center console back in, and also we haven't fit our radio back in. The reason being is that we're waiting on some upgrades that we've bought from eBay to replace the normal center console and the normal radio. So those will be installed later. But for now, we have got to worry about these cream colored trim pieces that are in the roof. I think these would look loads better in black. I think a sporty Caddy R model should have black trim pieces. So the next job is to take all of those out and get them painted.
So we could go ahead and get cracking with removing all of the cream coloured trim pieces in the Caddy, and just like this van should definitely have black trim pieces on the interior, you should definitely run a CarVertical check when buying any used car. Now when you check the Caddy R out on CarVertical, it has a really clean report, and as you can see it has a CarVertical score of almost 70, which is pretty good for a 16-year-old van with over 200,000 miles. But if we check out this other Caddy's report, we can see that it has a score of 59. Which for a van that's 4 years newer with lower miles is not great. So if we scroll down, CarVertical shows us why it's got this lower score, and it's because this van has been in a nasty accident, as you can see from all these pictures. And if we go down to the damage section, we can see that this van was marked as a category S, and this means that the car has had structural damage. So once all of the trims were out, we could quickly get them cleaned and prepped up, and then I could go over all of the plastic trims with some satin black paint, whilst Ollie was dyeing the headliner with some black carpet dye. And as we were finishing all of this off, the guys from Vision Windscreens came down to install the Caddy's new windscreen. So to get this installed, the first step is to apply this special sealant all the way around the edge of the windscreen, and then they can use these suction cups to carefully lift the glass into place. But if any of you want to run a CarVertical check on your own car or a car that you're thinking of buying, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use the code JACK20 at the checkout for a 20% discount off that check.
Okay, so that is our interior trims now painted, and also our windscreen has been installed as well by the guys down at Vision Windscreens, so a massive thanks goes to them. But whilst the paint dries for our interior trims, I thought I'd show you the other modifications that we've got and install those too, so I'll show you now. So this is a Golf R steering wheel. As you can see, it's got a little R badge there, and that fits in with our Caddy R theme. I think this steering wheel is a huge upgrade from the standard Caddy steering wheel. In fact, the standard Caddy steering wheel is right there. Look at how awful that is in comparison to that beautiful masterpiece. So let's get this fitted.
So Ollie could crack on with the job of getting this new steering wheel fitted, and luckily it just bolts straight on, so it's nice and easy.
Sorted.
Perfect.
Mate, this looks sick.
That was, yeah, pretty easy install. It does just bolt straight on, but this is gonna need some programming later on, this steering wheel. So we're gonna go to a man later on in the video to go and get it all programmed in. But now I have another modification to show you. So here we have some upgraded door speakers for our Caddy. Now these are a massive upgrade from the standard speakers, and they actually have the correct plugs in them to just plug them straight into the Caddy wiring loom in the door. So these are gonna be a really easy install. Now, annoyingly, our Caddy is actually the complete POV spec, well it was when it started, meaning it doesn't have the wiring to install the tweeters in the dash. So unless we did some custom wiring, it's not possible for us to fit the tweeters, annoyingly. So these are the only quick, easy install that we can do to upgrade the audio system, but it should be nice and easy, so let's get them in.
So the standard speakers in the Caddy are held in with all of these little rivets. So the first job to get our new speakers installed is to drill out all of these rivets so that we can take the old speakers out. And as I was doing my side, Ollie was doing his side. And getting the new speaker fitted is as simple as riveting it into place and then plugging in the plug.
Finished. Look at that.
What's the first tune you're bumping in this?
It's gotta be thinking, hit me baby one more time.
But yeah, cut it out. Cut it out.
That one is a tune, honestly. If you don't like a bit of Britney Spears, you're just lying.
I'm not a joyride, a hit and run. I thought I loved you and you thought I was fun.
Okay, so that is the speakers now fitted into the door cards. And a lot of you said in the previous video, to maximize the sound quality and the daily ability of the van, we should have put sound deadening behind here. But we actually did do that. I'll put some videos over the screen now so you can see we did put some sound deadening behind here. So alongside this speaker, the sound quality now should be really good. But something has just arrived I want to show you that is the next part of the puzzle with our whole infotainment system. And it is this Kenwood. It's a big screen, and it's going to allow us to run Apple CarPlay and allow us to run our music and Bluetooth and all that sort of thing. So first thing I'll do is we'll get all the wires connected up and we'll get this mounted in.
So the first thing to do to get our new stereo installed is to plug in the adapter harness, and then I can simply mount it up using 4 screws. We could also get the plastic trim cover back on. And then the final thing to do is to wire in the power wire into the fuse box using a piggyback fuse.
Watch this. The magic's, right, this is where my theory gets tested here. Yes! Let's go. I mean, for some people that's quite possibly the simplest piece of wiring ever, but I'm actually allergic to wires, so I'm well proud of that. Do you know what we need to do, Toby?
Go on.
Test the tunes.
Let's listen to
Hey, this sounds good. Hell yeah. Apple CarPlay. Take a look. That is now all of our apps. We've got Waze on there as well. Oh, this is so cool. I've actually never had Apple CarPlay ever. So this is actually a first for me. Something else I want to test quickly is to see if this microphone works. So Toby, do you want to give me a phone call?
Yes.
And we'll test to see if that works. Toby, can you hear me?
I can, that sounds great.
Does it sound good?
That sounds amazing. That actually sounds like perfect quality.
This is good. Right, so we need to mount this up and just clean everything up, but that's pretty easy.
So now the stereo's in with working Apple CarPlay, we can move on to the next thing that I want to change, and that is these plastic pedals. And we'll be upgrading these to some lovely aluminium ones, so Ollie could go ahead and get these fitted.
Ow. And this one should just pop back in. We use the same method. She's on. New one going in. That feels pretty solid to me.
I'd say that's good.
So with the aluminium pedals now fitted, we can finally refit all of the plastic interior trims that have now been painted in black, and also the headliner as well. Now, before getting any of these parts installed, the first thing I wanted to do was to install a bit of sound deadening into the roof.
The thing is, Ollie, can I make a suggestion? This is not to say that I know better or that he's wrong, but I just think that possibly we could use the little halves of the silver ones.
No, look at that. Tell me that doesn't go pretty well.
That does go amazingly well. You are correct. However, only if you agree. But do you think that using the silver ones would be match?
You're annoying me now.
I obviously very much trust your judgment.
This is going on. I don't care.
Ollie, can I make a suggestion that we use this?
No. You're acting like this is a problem, but you're never going to see it.
That can't come off. So anybody who's going to be angry about us using a black piece when we have enough silver pieces.
I don't know if you know, there's a panel that goes there, so you're never going to see it.
With that decision made, I could then get the rest of the pieces stuck on.
Okay, that is the sound deadening now all fitted. Let's get the headliner in.
So Ollie and I could lift the headliner into the van and then get it fitted into place.
That looks really good, doesn't it? I think that's a big improvement.
It's missing starlights.
It's definitely not missing starlight.
Next to go in were the A-pillar trims, and as I was doing the driver's side, I could make sure to mount up the microphone for the Apple CarPlay on the side of this trim. And meanwhile, Ollie was doing the passenger side. There was also this big trim piece we had to install which sits above the front seats. We could also get the roof handles in. The sun visors could go in. And then also the light. Then there were a few more trims left to do that Ollie could finish installing. And then just like that, the black trims were fitted. So the next upgrades to install to the Caddy are these door cards. Now, just like a load of the other parts we've fitted in this video, these have come straight out of a Volkswagen Touran, and as you can see, they are a massive upgrade visually from the standard Caddy door card.
Okay, so fitting these new Touran door cards isn't actually as simple as just installing them. There's a little bit of cutting that we have to do, and I'll show you why using the old Caddy door card. Basically, if I put the two door cards at the exact same, so that's lined up on the back now. If you take a look, the Touran door card is a little bit longer, just on this edge, just there. So I've sort of drawn on with a Sharpie where I need to cut, and that's all we need to do, and then hopefully that'll allow us to fit it.
So I could quickly get out the Dremel and just make that small cut in the door card. And then after briefly filing it down, I could then get the door card installed. And meanwhile, Ollie was doing the exact same thing on his side.
Okay, the next thing to go in the Caddy is this. It's an armrest, and again, like a lot of the stuff we're putting in here, it is out of a Volkswagen Touran. And the cool thing about this is that it has this cool armrest, which the Caddy center console doesn't have. I'll put some pans over what the center console in the Caddy looks like from standard, but this one's really cool. It has like a ratcheting armrest where you can like set the position, move it forward, and again, because we want this to be the best parts van in the world that's good at long journeys, this is going to make it way more comfortable. Now, if you follow me into the van, there are a few fabrication-y sort of things, well, just cutting we've had to do to be able to get this in. So if you take a look down here, we've had to cut out a little bit of this sort of back part of the Caddy. Ta-da. So that the center console can slide in, because it's a little bit longer than the Caddy center console, but now hopefully it should go in.
So Ollie and I could get on with installing this center console, and it did take a fair bit of persuasion and a bit of trial and error, but with that little section cut out at the back, this is a direct fit, so it wasn't too difficult. And then there were still a few more plastics to install. And because we're now almost done in the interior, we could also get the floors hoovered up as well.
Okay, so as you can see, the center console is in and all of the plastics are in and they're looking amazing, and we have just also hoovered the floors, so we're ready to get the R seats back in the Caddy. If you remember in this video on the screen that I'm showing right now, we actually bought these Touran seat bases and also the R-line seats to put in the Caddy, and we can go ahead and put them back in now.
So to get these seats installed, it's again a really simple task. All we have to do is firstly bolt down the Touran seat bases. And once that's done, the R-line seats can be refitted, and there's just 4 bolts holding each of them down.
Cool, mate, look at how good this looks with the armrest. Like, that's going to be so nice on a long journey, isn't it? This is cool. So we've got our center console. That is going to make, actually, that is going to make a huge difference. I love that. It's also good because you can put it away if you don't want it as well. Now that's done, we can take this on its first drive, since we did the engine swap originally, and go and take it to get everything programmed.
So before taking our Caddy out on the roads, we of course firstly had to get the number plates fitted.
Just a minute. Right, we're eyeballing it.
That was pretty good.
Right, my most important thing is that the brakes work. We can stop. First time driven, mate, this feels so much more executive now.
It does look way better with that steering wheel.
It looks so much better. Mate, it's almost done. It's so nearly done. Yes.
So with the Caddy driving amazingly, our first stop was actually the exhaust company, because if you remember, the Caddy doesn't actually have any exhaust tips currently. And this is just simply because the exhaust tips were the wrong width. So what we have to do now is to get the Caddy up on the ramp, and then we can modify the old exhaust tips to fit the cutouts in the new bumper. So after chopping off the exhaust tips, all Josh is going to do to make this work is to do a bit of measuring, and then he can weld in a bit of extra stainless pipe into the exhaust tips to increase their width. And once Josh was done adding this little section into the exhaust tips, he could then test fit them, and of course, they fit perfectly. So that's now the exhaust tips ticked off the to-do list, and now we can actually drive the Caddy from Reading all the way up to Hemel Hempstead to go and get some programming done. And the first things we want to sort out are the tail lights. So to get these working properly, Claudio has firstly got to do a bit of wire repinning for the tail light plug. And once the driver's side was done, he had to do the same process again on the passenger side tail light. And once he's done that, he can upload the software to the Caddy, and just like that, our taillights are now working perfectly. Now, something else that Claudio's got to do for us is to program in the steering wheel. Now, this is going to be really important for another modification we're doing slightly later on, and to do this, he's got to strip apart the whole steering wheel area. And then he can install a little electronic chip called an emulator.
That is the emulator.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, this is basically translating the commands from your steering wheel to the commands on the van. So basically,
got it.
the translator.
That's the magic key, basically.
And once that's in, he can get it all back together. And then Claudio could finish up with a bit more programming. And after he'd done that, the steering wheel was now communicating with the van, meaning that all of the buttons on the steering wheel now work, and also the lights on the steering wheel were working as well. But now that's done, the final thing to do is to go and take the Caddy from Hemel Hempstead all the way up to Stansted to go and get the final modifications installed to the van. And trust me, these are the best ones of this video.
Okay, so before we move on to the final upgrade for the Caddy, I have an exciting announcement to make. Well, sad for me, exciting for you. And that is that one of you guys is going to be winning the Caddy R over on Ultima Competitions for just £4.49 a ticket. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to keep doing YouTube as a job. I've just employed these two lovely lads, Toby and Ollie, full-time, and also we're moving units soon, so rent's about to go up. So we've got a lot of expenses to pay for is the bottom line, and the financial reality of doing this job is that we just can't keep all of the projects as much as I would. Trust me, I would love to keep this van. It's really sad to see it go. Now, this van is going to be the most sensational van for one of you guys to own. It is super practical, super dailyable, it's really comfortable, it's the coolest look. I mean, just look at it. It is mega. So honestly, one of you guys is going to absolutely love this. So here are the details if you want to enter the competition. It is £4.49 a ticket. The live draw will be on the 17th of February 2026 at 9 PM on the second channel as a live stream. It is UK only, 18 plus only, and yeah, £4.49 a ticket. You can check out Ultimate Competitions with the link in the description of this video and grab as many tickets as you please. So yeah, it's going to be sad to see this thing go, but honestly, one of you guys is going to absolutely love this. And with that said, let's now go and get the final cool upgrade installed on the van.
So I brought the Caddy all the way up here to paint 2K in Stansted, and you might be wondering, why did I do this? Well, you see, Mike here is the Caddy wizard, and when I told him about my plans to completely overhaul the interior, he told me of 2 upgrades that he absolutely had to do to the Caddy that would completely transform it. So trusting that he had a good plan in mind, I left the Caddy R with him for a few days, and this is what he did.
Good to see you, man.
How you doing, you alright?
Yeah, excited. Do the honours, let's have a look.
Oh, clean.
My God.
Yeah, I like this.
That looks insane. Bro, you are actually a magician. Look at the spotlights. Mate, you've absolutely smashed this out of the park. Mate, I can't believe you did a floor on it as well.
Yeah,
like, how have you done this in 2 days?
That's as good as done.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the back of the van.
So not only has Mike completely carpeted the rear of our van, but he's also installed spotlights, a ceiling, and even a tiled floor. I'm not even joking, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Look at this. Look at this.
It's proper finished it off, hasn't it? Like,
It has properly finished it off. Oh, we haven't even seen the dash yet. We haven't even seen the dash.
Gets better.
Oh my God, look at that.
So not only did Mike completely transform the rear, he's also installed this digital dash, which is absolutely game-changing for the daily ability of this van.
What do you think, Ollie?
that literally changed it so much. It feels so much nicer in there now. Like, that digi dash is so cool.
Isn't it? Unreal.
It's gonna be unreal now.
So Mike could show me around how to work this digi-dash, and that's why it was so important to get this steering wheel coded in, because the buttons on the steering wheel control the digi-dash. And there is so much stuff to play with on this dash, from all of the colours to loads of different rev gauges. It is just so cool.
Okay, we're back, and the Caddy R drove so well on the way back home, and I had a little bit of a play around with the digital dash. And there are so many pieces of information that you can show up on this, like your miles per gallon, your oil temperature, coolant temperature, so many different pieces of data that the ECU reads, this dash can show you, which is so cool. But that is the last modification we're going to be doing to the Caddy R. It is now completely finished, so all that's left to do is to show you the final product. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Volkswagen Caddy R is done. The build is complete. Now, It is going to be really sad to see this van go. I really don't want to, but it is just the right decision to push the channel forward. And I know one of you watching is going to absolutely love this van. So remember, tickets are £4.49. Live draw is on the 17th of February 2026 at 9 PM on the second channel as a live stream. And you can head over to Ultima Competitions with the link in the description right now and buy as many tickets as you please. But with that said, I will catch you all in the next one.